Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. We're glad that you're here. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott.
Together, we are Backyard Musings, the Science and Technology channel.
Yeah, we're talking about a pretty exciting topic today, a moon base, which we've touched on, right, in our own wild imagination. And this will be the next move before we go to the red planet. So,
right, this has to happen before we go to the red planet.
Yep. Okay.
Because we need a base for like resupply and fuel and that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Okay. NASA has selected 3 commercial space companies. This is pretty cool. A commercial space company. Who would have thought of that? To carry
Elon.
Yeah, Elon's one of them. Virgin Atlantic, another one. Yep. And Blue Origins, yeah. To carry out 4 new lunar missions in late 2028 through the agency's moon-based program. Astrobotic, Firefly Aerospace, and Intuitive Machines will transport NASA science instruments to the moon as the agency works toward establishing the first outpost on another celestial body. And these are not even the ones that we thought of, Scott.
Right. And these guys are all, I believe, I hope I'm not speaking out of turn here, but I believe this is all private money.
Yeah.
So this is not costing our taxpayer.
Well, no, I mean it's
maybe a little bit
contract, right?
Because NASA's involved, yeah. But I mean, I think the majority of it's going to be private donations, probably, right? Or companies that are saying, yeah, we want to. It's like NASCAR. We want our name on the side of this base, and we want our name there.
Well, it's saying they've been awarded, so the government's paying.
Well, you think so? You think it's going to be okay?
Start reading your paragraph.
Yeah, I don't believe what I read though. Anyway, here we go. Astrobotic will receive a combined almost $298 million for 2 lunar deliveries. Okay, well, all right. Let me keep reading. Firefly Aerospace was awarded a little over $144 million for 1 delivery, while Intuitive Machines will receive a little over $148 million for another. The missions are part of NASA's CLPS, which is the Commercial Lunar Payload Services Initiative, which serves as a central component of the moon base effort. Each company will use an upgraded version of a lander design that has already flown, helping NASA increase the frequency of its lunar missions. So, yeah, I don't remember hearing about this lander, so maybe they're keeping it under wraps. But yeah, it still sounds like maybe this money is going to be, privately funded. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, when it says awarded, that's like a contract. They put out a request for bids, and these people submit a bid, and they're the cheapest one, the lowest price, the lowest bidder.
But again, do you think maybe this money is coming in from private folks that want to be involved in this? That don't know how to do it, but want to be able to put their name on the side of it. Kind of get a little.
That's a lot of money to put up just to have your name on the side of it. I can understand 20, 30,000 for a NASCAR logo, but millions of dollars. Whoosh.
But think about where they're going and what they're going to be doing, right? That's
it. That's if they can land it successfully.
Yeah, they're going to need McDonald's on the moon. They're going to need an In-N-Out burger. They're going to need a Walmart.
Chick-fil-A,
which, yeah.
Reed's Dairy Farm chocolate milk.
Exactly. That might be their furthest outpost. Lee's Market will have to open up, right? Lee's Market is their distributor on the West Coast. So anyway, just dreaming.
NASA now has 17 planned lunar surface deliveries spread across several commercial providers. Alongside the latest awards, the agency announced additional ways for American companies to participate in the development of the moon base.
One concept under consideration would send PROMIS, which is Polar Rover for Observation, Mapping, and In Situ Exploration to the lunar surface. The rover is a hybrid engineering development version of the Mars Perseverance and Curiosity rovers, and we've talked about those.
Yeah.
NASA specialists will identify possible roles for PROMIS, including studying the moon's surface and subsurface and assessing the potential availability for useful resources.
NASA also expects to request proposals in the coming months for landers capable of delivering a power and avionics technology demonstration, another collection of science instruments, and an optical imager for the lunar South Pole.
This is very cool.
Yeah.
The agency also plans to issue an open request for moon-based technology demonstrations. In addition, NASA will seek proposals for a lunar communications and navigation relay constellation that could provide connections between moon-based systems and Earth.
Yeah, and if that goes into if that gets put up, it also serves communications to Mars, too. Pretty cool.
This will be the beta run.
Yep. The awards announced June 30th are expected to support the infrastructure required for future operations on the lunar surface. The selected companies will manage procurement, evaluate a comparable previously flown lunar lander, and apply lessons from earlier missions to improve reliability. Each of the 4 deliveries will carry the same 3 NASA instruments to the moon. That's redundancy right there.
Yeah. The stereo camera for lunar plume surface studies, or SCALPS, uses 4 cameras and a method known as stereo photogrammetry to create a 3D view of how a lander's engine exhaust affects lunar dust, lunar climate change there, right? During descent. They're worried about the lunar dust.
Well, the dust could get into the engines and stuff and gum things up. So I think that's what they want to study. Plus, there's less gravity, so it's kind of unpredictable.
But they're getting that we've already done this. Not
well,
in
I don't know that we've studied it.
But we've done it. We've already been to the moon and taken off from the moon. So
right, but these are cameras to study the effects of the dust on the equipment that's landing.
You don't think they've done that already? When the lunar module took off from
it was theoretical. It was theoretical because before we touched down on the moon, we had no idea what the dust was composed of, its mass. It had nothing.
I agree. Plus, I think they're going to be going to other sides of the moon, right?
Yeah.
Going to be going to the dark side of the moon. So
NASA will gather observations involving different engine sizes, propellants, and landing sites. The resulting high-res stereo images will help researchers build models that predict how lunar soil erodes and how dust and debris are thrown across the surface.
Understanding these effects will become increasingly important as larger and heavier spacecraft, equipment, and infrastructure begin landing close to one another. Okay.
The laser retroreflector array reflects laser beams sent by lunar orbiters or landing craft. These reflections can help spacecraft determine their orbital position or navigate more precisely towards the surface.
Each cookie-sized device contains 8 quartz corner cube prisms mounted in a dome-shaped aluminum frame. It is entirely passive and requires neither power nor maintenance. Similar arrays have already traveled abroad previous CLPS, CLPS, and international lunar landers. Future missions will continue expanding this network of permanent location markers for lunar exploration.
The Linear Energy Transfer Spectrometer, LETS, will measure radiation during different approaches to the moon and at multiple locations on the lunar surface. Based on previously proven hardware, the instrument uses small advanced silicon detector to measure the energy carried by incoming space radiation. It will reveal both the strength and type of radiation reaching the lunar environment.
NASA needs this detailed information to design safer missions, protect astronauts, that's a biggie, and prepare for long-duration exploration. The agency is also examining whether the landers could carry additional payloads beyond the 3 standard instruments. NASA is continuing to develop the moon base as a long-term lunar exploration and infrastructure program. Its goal is to support a sustained human presence while expanding scientific research and commercial activity across the lunar surface. So this is like a a space station, which we have and we've had for years, on the moon.
On the moon, yeah.
Okay.
As part of the golden age of innovation and exploration, NASA plans to send astronauts on increasingly challenging missions that explore more of the moon. These expeditions will pursue scientific discoveries, create economic benefits, and strengthen the foundation needed for the first crewed missions to Mars. That sounded like a propaganda statement.
Yeah, but I'm ready for this. This is going to be so cool.
Yep.
I can't wait.
Yep. I'm surprised that we're hearing about, we're first hearing about this now. You'd think there'd be a buzz.
Yeah. But, I think a lot of people are not immune, but kind of numb to this stuff because of all the CGI stuff that they see in the movies. And, they probably want to know, we've already done this. We watched Star Wars last night. We've already done all this, and it's just not, it's not real, but this is the real deal. So this is cool.
Yep.
Like, look at all the excitement that happened when Elon and company went up and rescued those astronauts that were on the space station that had been up there for, I forget for how long, but it was an extended amount of time that they weren't supposed to be there. And that in itself created a lot of buzz. So, maybe the more people that hear about this, the more excited it'll be. So, but anyway, I think it's cool.
All right, folks. Thanks for joining us. Catch you in the afternoon.
Take care, everyone. Have a great afternoon or good morning. Thanks.